Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Let's Interview the finalists for the upcoming Mass Effect Tabletop Campaign Season number 2. And I am here with Mikey, one of our lovely contestants, in addition to our veteran, Eric, who I'm so excited to see back. Hey, Eric.
Hey.
Good to see you, buddy. I've missed you thoroughly.
It's been ages.
It is. But, it'll be good to see you and Sesepia in action again, at least for the next 30 minutes or so.
Mhm.
So, Mikey, as you've seen, has chosen Eric slash Sesepia to interview with. He was his first choice. So, and why wouldn't it be? Because Eric's just amazing.
It's the glasses. 100%.
it's-
It's the glasses.
For me, it's the laugh and the hair.
It's the glasses for me. It's just
Well, so I'm just gonna try to be as hands off as possible. So Eric, it's your show. You
Alright.
go ahead and take the lead.
Awesome. Very, very good. Okay. So Mikey, so what kind of brought you into really getting into to D&D? Like, kind of what got you
Well,
really?
originally back when I was I want to say 15, so about 7 years ago now, I was actually watching a streamer who was known for indie games, and one of the mods in the chat was like, "Hey, anyone want to join a tabletop game?" And I'm like, "Sure." Never tried it before. It looks kind of fun, so why not? That was essentially my first foray into tabletop gaming. It was a Pathfinder game. I played a half-elf paladin whose name was Ezekiel, and there was a dark elf on the team who sexually harassed him every single session because for some reason he was a fan of the butts. And it wasn't actual sexual harassment. It was just kind of a funny in joke because he used to call my character Armored Butt because I used to wear full plate.
Okay.
It was stupid, but at the same time it made everyone laugh, so he went for it.
Mhm.
Someone actually was in our Andromeda chat was actually used to be a player in that game. Alex, he actually was in that game with me way back when, so he can attest to that. But yeah, it went on from there. I met another GM named Scott. He won't mind me mentioning his name because he has it all over the internet now. He basically was my first real GM, and that the first one only lasted a few weeks. It didn't last very long, and this was my second foray into GMing, into playing games. It was Pathfinder again. I was playing a warrior who actually retired. I never played him ever again. His name was David King, and I played him for the full game. He went out in a blaze of glory, taking out 5 orcs and getting mauled to death in this blaze of glory, saving his friends. I retired him then after that, never played him again. Scott and I still play together. He's actually my GURPS GM. He plays a lot of GURPS with me and that kind of stuff. He's actually a really good GM. I love him to bits. He's my best friend. And then from there, I started playing other types of games. I started playing Stars Without Number. I started playing a bit of Savage Worlds, D&D 5e I got into for a while. And ever since then, really, I found Hark's channel when I was playing some Dragon Age, and I'm like, hey, this seems like a type of game that have a tabletop system. And I Googled, I put it in YouTube, and I'm like, there's Hark right there. So I watched I was in school at the time, and what I used to do is during my computer classes, because I'd finish my computer classes in about 5 minutes, I'd sit there and I'd listen to Hark's sessions. So in the hour and a half long computer classes we used to have, I would sit there for about an hour and 15 minutes trying not to laugh or cry or react in any way, shape, or form to Hark's Dragon Age Season 1 all the way through it. I caught up to I think you were 19 or 20 sessions in by the time I caught into it, and I caught up all the way. And then I watched all the rest of it. And ever since then, I've been infatuated with the way you GM. Your players love you. The people watching love you. You destroy people's souls with your feels. It's so good. But the laughs are so good at the same time. It's so perfect. I love it to bits. And that's why that's why I actually love GMing myself, is I want to make my players react in ways that I don't expect them to, but I also find that great. So yeah, my experience in tabletop games is vast and varied, but it's also all for a singular purpose, and that is to have fun, make new friends, and experience new things.
What are good traits to have for a player getting into a new campaign?
Okay, so if I was looking for players, I look for someone who's a team player, who's willing to share the spotlight a lot of the times. They're trying to help people bring their character to the forefront. They're trying to be a supportive individual. So if someone's struggling a bit with something, they'll be like, "Oh, here, look, here's a little hint," or they'll try and make a group work together. So, like, say if someone has, let's say two people have lockpick, for example, and there's a lockpick to pick. Let's say, all right, we'll both pick it at the same time, and we'll just see who gets there first, because we can do that. It's fun. It's a bit of a fun challenge, and I like seeing group dynamics. I like seeing varied mix of people from various different backgrounds. I like seeing people who have the ability to be at the forefront of things for a while, but then we know when it's time to pull themselves back and say, all right, my turn is over. It's time for somebody else to have a bit of a shine, or it's time for my character to be a secondary individual here now and help somebody else out, or my arc is over, so now it's time for me to help somebody else through their little issue or whatever else is going on. I like to see players who are ready to make a joke, ready to always be willing to look at a situation and laugh sometimes, or if there's a total party wipe, and just be like, well, that was fun, let's make a new character and just go for it. I like seeing things like that.
From your experiences, both as a GM and as a player, how tell me kind of like a situation where there was some form of conflict, whether it was between you and another player, or as you as a player or as a GM, that there was a conflict that you had to resolve.
Actually, this happened not too long ago. I was actually playing I think it was a 5e game, where two people got in a huge fight in character, and they literally were about to fight each other in character. And I was just sitting back here like, all right, I want to see where this goes. But eventually I would notice, all right, it's getting a bit too far along. Here's what I'll do. So I had them like, all right, guys, you need to just calm down for a second here while I sort something out. So what I did is that I sent them on to the next town all together. Nice big group. I had these characters. I had the group of people they were with keep these two player characters apart for a little while. And then when I got to the next town, I set up this big gladiatorial thing, where they both got in the ring and fought it out non-lethally. They both got in the ring. There was this magical enchantment on the ring where the first person, not the other guy, every time you punch somebody, you have to tell them an issue. So, like, let's say if I was let's say, right, I'm a ranger who has like an issue with the druid, because the druid is all like, oh, you shouldn't kill animals because they all have spirits. And I punch them and I say, everything has a spirit, but just because blah, every time I hit them, I have to give them something that I have an issue with, and then every time they do the same thing to me, they have to do the same thing back, and blah blah blah. It helped them sort their issues out, and it also got their characters' emotions out, and it allowed them to fight it out in a way that was productive.
That's kind of cool.
I like that.
Emotional brawling.
Yeah, that's what it was actually. At the end of it, they both cried. Both of their characters literally hugged each other again. That was a big cry. It was actually kind of beautiful.
Oh,
so, yeah,
that's
great.
Nice. Very, very good. All right, awesome.
Thank you.
What areas of growth, where do you see yourself? Like, what areas of improvement do you see yourself?
As a player.
Yeah, as a player, I'll definitely say that I have issues where I will talk an awful lot more than I should, because I like talking. I like to hear the sound of my own voice for some reason, and I don't know why. But I just like talking too much. There's often times where I'll sit here and I'll realize, oh, look, this guy is doing something completely stupid, and I'll just think that. But then I'll realize, oh, hang on, that's just them doing what their characters should do, because that's them role-playing as that individual. That's them being the character. In fact, in the post-apocalypse game I'm in, one of the characters has really bad paranoia as a trait, and it's kind of annoying because he's jittery all the time. He's looking around. He doesn't trust anybody that's not been with the group since the start, and like it kind of gets in your nerves when you're like, oh look, there's a 12-year-old kid, and he points the gun at the kid, because he doesn't process the fact that it's a kid. His paranoia is the first and foremost thing. I realize that it's the strongest thing for him, that the paranoia is the thing that he connects with the most. But to me, it does kind of get on my, I wouldn't say it gets on my nerve, but it kind of just makes me kind of sit back and go, all right, I'll just wait for him to get his episode over so we can move on or whatever. And I realize that I should probably be more engaged in trying to help this guy get over his paranoia as the character, more than just being like, all right, this guy's just having another one of his paranoia episodes. Let's just let him get over with it and then move on from there. There are definitely times where I feel like I can take the spotlight for too long, where I feel like, all right, I have a big personality and I know that. I get in the way of some people, and sometimes I can drown people out, and I don't mean to do it, but I do it on instinct, I guess, because I'm used to just going forward and being like, all right, guys, let's go do this thing that we should do because it's totally the right thing and nothing could totally go wrong. And I feel like that I could improve in those senses, and I do strive to improve on them every now and again. I've been trying to specifically improve on the overshadowing of people, because I don't want to be that guy who makes his character the forefront of everything. I want to help other people be the star, because what's the point in being a lone star in a group game? There's no point in that. It's not as fun.
Very, very good. Okay, good.
So why don't we go ahead and start doing some role playing?
All right. So basically, the scene that I was going to be trying to suggest going through roleplay. Basically, it's basically the night after, or it's the day after the night. Your team just was involved. Just did this match. You won, and you guys went to the bar, and something. Now we're brought into the police office, the police station for questioning. So
wouldn't be the first time. So yeah, that's totally believable. Oh, Nathan probably got a little rowdy. Nathan probably got
a little rowdy. All right.
Yeah. So right now you're in kind of this this room right now, just kind of sitting at his right in front of the table. Right now, no one's come in yet. Right now, it's just kind of like just waiting for someone to do something.
Nate's probably sitting there, still in his jersey, straight up, still in his uniform. Probably doesn't look overly surprised that he's here right now. This looks like I wouldn't say this looks like old hat to him, but it looks like he's been there before.
I can see you probably are like walking down the station, and then one of the officers like, "Oh, hi, Nathan. Is it?
Oh, hey, Jake, how you doing, bud?
Is it Thursday again? Is it?"
Yeah, we had that game against the Astros yesterday, and it didn't go too well. Well, it went well for us, but the after party didn't go too well for the bar. Yeah, he's sitting there full uniform,
Nice.
Probably just twiddling with his thumbs or twitching. Like, he's not twitching, he's just kind of sitting there calm, just waiting for someone to come in. His lawyer is probably like trying to call him, but he's not answering because fuck that shit. He's just waiting for someone to come in.
Yeah.
All right, and then enters in Turian officer, a female. She's looking very kind of stoic, very kind of like trying to show not any kind of emotion. She enters in.
Nathan
the room.
just yawns. He's like,
Hope the holding areas were okay to your standards for having to spend the night here.
I mean, they're all size Praetorians, so at the very least they're big enough for me. I'll give you that much. Most places I'm having to like crunch up my knees into my chin. So
I have a couple questions that I want to address.
Fire away, officer.
I recognize you. I see you a couple times in the talks in the locker room. You're Nathan, right? Part of the Biotic Ball group, right? You had a match.
Points at the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're dead on there.
Yep. You had a match last night, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. I only got quite a couple of the highlights of it from last night. I don't remember what happened last night.
Well, after I think it was I think it was Jack who scored like the last bucket, and we kind of like went off the court because we'd won. I went to the locker room, and of course, Lucas was just like, "Hey guys, let's go to the bar," because it's only like once or twice a month we're on the Citadel for a game. So he brings us out to the bar, and I'm like, "All right, guys, let me get changed on my jersey because I usually don't go out wearing my jersey because I don't like it. And he's just like, nah, dude, come on. It'll only be a few quick drinks. You can go back to your room then and we'll go off. And I remember agreeing to that, as stupid as that sounds, and walking out. And we ended up in the bar. Ophelia put down, what was it? I think it was TM88 shots, and remember a lot of dancing, a lot of. Oh no, I can't say that out loud, can I? A lot of let's just say there was a lot of skin involved. And then I remember walking out into the street on my own and going to flag down a taxi, and then one of our officers grabbed me. Honestly, I don't remember much else, to be fair. That could just be the fact that I'm ridiculously hazy this morning, but there you go.
Right. We were brought in because the bar that you were at, there was a report for some property damage that happened in the facility.
Right.
There wasn't any fire shots due to the bar's regulations that no firearms be allowed in there. So the amount of damage that was done, it was pretty much looked like a train ran through it. So I am.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Yeah. Something tells me that somebody might have set me off, and well, unfortunately, this would not be the first time that I've trashed a bar. In fact, I'm pretty sure it would be the fourth. No, fifth. No, fourth. Yeah, fourth. But most of every time it just tends to turn out with me just paying off the tab and apologizing because I need to stop drinking so much.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds like the amount of damage is pretty hefty. There was a lot of heavy stuff got pushed around and moved around.
Oh yeah. That sounds like what I would do. All right, after. Oh, please don't tell me someone poured drink all. Oh no. Oh, that's why my stomach feels like it's about to die this morning. Oh no, that always sets me off. I can't handle a drink all. I don't think most people can, but I didn't die, so I'll take it. But yeah, I'm not drinking drink all ever again. I'm sorry, officer. Sorry, what was your name?
Sepia.
I'm sorry, Officer Sepia. I'll make sure that I'll make sure my teammates don't do this again, because last time it was on Tachanka, and I don't want to get into it. I really don't.
So you kind of have a history of a repeat offense.
I have a history of my teammates giving me wrinkle and me forgetting most of the night and waking up the next morning with a tab that's about 4 feet long. Okay.
It looks like we're probably we are gonna have to kind of process this through. I see a lot of kids like you kind of go down this path, and I don't want you to have to.
I've seen a lot of kids go down my path. Trust me, I grew up on the streets back on Earth. It wasn't overly easy. I saw a lot of kids in gangs and dealing drugs on the street. Trust me, I've been there. And that's why I keep telling the guys, don't give me wrinkle. You'll know I'll lose my mind and not remember most of it. But there you go. Yeah, hopefully this gets them to wake up, because I definitely don't want to do this again. Even though it is lovely to meet you.
Thank you. I know that you said that your teammates were the one who kind of gave you the drink, but also you might have to try to like step and kind of be more kind of like let them know, it's like, hey, I can't do those kind of things. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna get yourself into more trouble like that. It might run to a time where it's more than just property damage that happened.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from less as an officer and more as someone who doesn't want a parent to have to go through your child happened to go through this stuff.
Oh, that's rather sweet of you. Thanks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So if I see you again, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be not as sweet, and it'll be a lot more rough than if I have to see you again here.
There's definitely a blush on his face right now. There's 100% a blush on his face right now, and he's not hiding it because he's wearing a uniform and he can't hide it. He's like rubbing his right arm, just tracing like the design on his shoulder, and he's like, okay, I'll make sure. Okay, Officer Giuseppe, I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Do you mind if I go home and take a shower and get changed? Because I've been in this uniform for way too long.
Sure. We'll get the paperwork situated. And just have you kind of stay here for a couple more minutes. We'll get that situated, and we'll get you bailed out then. Okay.
Excellent. That's exactly what I need, and I need to find that guy. I need to find Reggie and let him know he's a dick. God damn it. Hey guys, it's another one of my vlogs. I've been recently, we've been on the road trip recently. I've been trying to keep these things going, but it's been difficult. My editor's been trying to keep up with things, but I've been sending him so many videos that it's kind of hard. But I've managed to find myself in a situation where there are a lot of opportunities for me after this season, even though I am a free agent. I don't particularly want to give any hearsay or she say or any kind of wrong intent, because I feel like what I'm doing as this kind of sportsman and being a face of this franchise and having been so since I was drafted here, I feel like I owe the Wolves a lot of props and a lot of different things for helping me develop into the being that I am, helping me develop into the player that I am. But no matter what happens, I want you guys to know that I love you, that I appreciate you as fans, and that I will always be here for you. But I might not be coming back to Biotic at the end of the season. Not to say that I'm retiring, mind you, I might come back in a year or two, but much like anyone in college would know, sometimes taking a gap year is just what you need to get yourself re-energized and rejuvenated back for the next season, or in some cases the next chapter of your lives. Biotic has been great to me. It's provided me and my family with more than enough money. It's been great to get to know all the guys on the team. It's been great to win these championships. It's been great to bring this trophy back to this franchise that hasn't won in so long. It's been so great, but there are bigger things out there that I want to get involved in. So what I'm going to say is I want you guys to trust me on this and believe me when I tell you that I'm here to stay no matter where I go, what I do, what happens. I will always be me. Thank you. Signing off.